I didn't miss my train in Europe because I was late. I missed it because I made a mistake almost every tourist makes without even realizing it. At the time, I thought I had everything figured out. Tickets booked, route planned, timing perfect. But one small misunderstanding, and the train left right in front of me. That moment didn't just cost me time. It exposed something most travelers never realize about Europe's transport system. Because the truth is, people don't struggle in Europe because it's complicated. They struggle because they don't understand the rules. And once I figured those rules out, everything changed. After missing that train, I did what most people do. I pulled out my phone and checked the schedule again. And at first, it looked simple. Same destination. Another train coming. Problem solved, right? That's what I thought. But this is where the second mistake happens. The one that confuses almost every traveler in Europe. Because in Europe, schedules don't work the way most people expect. Back home, you look for the destination. You match the time, and you're done. But here, that logic can send you in the wrong direction fast. I was looking at the city name instead of the train details. And that's a dangerous mistake, because multiple trains can go to the same destination, but not all of them take the same route. Some are direct, some require changes. Some split mid-journey, and some don't even go where you think they do. Standing there staring at the board, everything started to blur together. Times, platforms, train names. It looked organized, but it didn't feel clear. And that's when I realized something important. The system isn't confusing, it's precise. But precision feels like chaos when you don't know what to look for. I had been focusing on the wrong information the entire time. Not the train number, not the route. It's not the details that actually matter, just the destination and hope. And in Europe, hope is not a strategy. That's when I knew. If I didn't understand how the system actually works, I wasn't just going to miss one train. The moment everything started to make sense was the moment I stopped guessing and started observing. I stood still for a second and looked at the departure board again. Not casually, not quickly, but carefully. And that's when I noticed something I had completely ignored before. The platform number next to my train changed right in front of me. Same train, same time, different platform. That's when it clicked. Platforms in Europe aren't fixed. They change often, not because the system is broken, but because it's optimizing. Trains are constantly arriving, departing, and sharing tracks. So platforms shift to keep everything moving efficiently. But here's the problem. Most tourists don't expect that. They check their platform once and assume it stays the same. I did the same thing. And that assumption is exactly how people miss trains. Because while you're walking confidently to platform 5, the train has already moved to platform 8. And no one comes to tell you. No announcements chasing you down. No warnings tailored to your confusion. Just a quiet update on the board that you either notice or you don't. That's when I changed how I moved. I stopped relying on memory and started relying on live information. Eyes on the board, constantly checking, matching the train number, not just the destination. And suddenly, everything felt different. The station wasn't chaotic anymore. It was dynamic, alive, efficient, predictable. Once you knew the rules, that was the shift. I wasn't lost anymore. I just hadn't been paying attention to the right signals. And in the next chapter, I'll show you the 3 simple rules I started following, rules that made missing trains almost impossible. After that moment, I stopped trying to figure things out, started following a few simple rules. It's not complicated strategies, not travel hacks. It's just 3 rules that changed everything. Rule number 1, always follow the train number, not the destination. This is the biggest mistake I was making. In Europe, multiple trains can go to the same city, but only one of them is your train. The train number is the one thing that never lies. Platforms can change, times can update, routes can vary. But the train number stays consistent. Once I started matching that, instead of just reading the destination, I stopped getting confused. Rule number 2, never trust the platform until the last moment. This one surprised me the most. Even if your ticket says platform 5, even if the app says platform 5, check the board again, and then check it again. Because platforms can change minutes before departure. And the people who miss trains are usually the ones who stopped checking too early. Rule number 3. Give yourself buffer time, but use it wisely. Before, I thought buffer time meant relaxing, walking slowly, not worrying. But that's not what buffer time is for. Buffer time is for understanding the station. It's looking at the boards, finding your platform area. It's positioning yourself before the rush starts. Because once boarding begins, everything moves fast. These 3 rules didn't make me a perfect traveler, but they removed the chaos. They replaced guessing with awareness. And for the first time, I felt like I was moving with the system, instead of constantly fighting it. And in the next chapter, I'll show you the mindset shift that made all of this feel easy, not stressful. The biggest change wasn't the rules. It wasn't the train numbers, or the platforms, or even the schedules. It was the way I started thinking about travel in Europe. Because at the beginning, I was trying to control everything. Every minute planned, every connection calculated, every step expected to go perfectly. And the moment something went wrong, stress took over. That's how most people travel here. They treat Europe like a system that should adjust to them. But Europe doesn't work that way. It's not built around tourists. It's built around millions of people who use it every single day to work, to study, to live. The system isn't flexible. It's consistent. And once I understood that, everything started to feel easier. I stopped expecting perfection, stopped panicking over small mistakes, and I started trusting the system. Because here's the truth most travelers DNT realize. Missing one train, Dosen T, break your journey. It redirects it. There's almost always another connection, another route, another way forward. The system keeps moving, whether you panic or adapt. So I chose to adapt. I slowed down mentally, while staying aware physically. I paid attention to what mattered, ignored what didn't, and suddenly, something shifted. The stations didn't feel stressful anymore. It felt predictable, even calm. That's when I realized Europe isn't hard to travel. It just requires a different mindset. And once you have it, you stop feeling like a lost tourist and start moving like someone who understands the system. Looking back, missing that train was the best thing that could have happened because it forced me to stop guessing and finally understand how Europe actually works. Most travelers see a missed train as failure, a mistake, a problem, something that ruins the trip. But in Europe, it's just part of the system. Trains come and go, connections shift, routes adjust. And the people who enjoy traveling here the most aren't the ones who never make mistakes, they're the ones who know how to recover quickly. That's the real skill, not perfection, adaptation. Because once you understand the rules, follow the train number. Watch the board, stay flexible, you stop feeling rushed. You stop feeling lost. And you start moving with confidence. That's when travel becomes lighter, less stressful, more enjoyable, and a lot more freeing. So if you're planning a trip to Europe and you're worried about missing trains, don't focus on being perfect. Focus on understanding the system. Because once you do, even your mistakes start working in your favor. And in my next video, I'll show you the exact European cities where this system is easiest to use. Places where even first-time travelers can move around without stress. Watch that next. It'll make your trip even smoother.